So I'm going to keep this very, very short. Very, very short. Just extremely short. First of all, congratulations to Holstein Kiel. Second of all, the players are an embarrassment. And third of all, Flick looks clueless. Flick looks clueless at the moment. And the reason why I'm saying that is not because of the result today. If we would have lost today, regardless of if we would have won or lost today, I would have said the same thing. Because the issue for me is not so much the result. If we would have lost today, it's whatever, it happens. Football results, there is going to be a victor. By the way, if you can hear background noise, I do apologize. But in football, there's going to be a victor, there's going to be a loser, or you're going to get a draw. So losing is not, to me, it's not that big of an issue. Never has been a big of an issue, right? To me, the issue is the performance. Our performance has not improved in months. We've had the same issues defensively for months, and we haven't sorted them out once. I come here every week, maybe twice a week sometimes, and I say the same thing. Defensively poor. Defensively poor. Defensively poor. We've had 2 games that I can think of. 2 games where I would say, okay, we were actually pretty solid this year. One of them was Schalke on match day 1. And Schalke, they didn't want to play. They came there and they didn't want to play. They just came there for the fun of it, to get paid, and then they left. And the other game was Atletico Madrid. Those are the only 2 games where I can confidently say with absolute certainty, with absolute certainty, we'll leave it at that we played good. Every other game we've been terrible. Terrible. This has been, we're now in what, January? We've been playing since what? Since when? September. We've been awful for months. For months. And we'll hear the same thing. I've said this last week as well. We'll hear the same thing in the press conference today, and we'll hear the same thing in the press conference next week, so on and so forth. We'll hear it once a week, the same things that are being said in the press conference. Oh, we need to do better. We need to close the rooms quicker. We need to not allow them to have the opportunities to play the ball forward. They're a second league team, and we couldn't do that. What hope do I have for a first league team? What hope do I have against a Bundesliga team? It's just the case of the season at the moment, and I'm not at the stage, personally for me. I'm not at the stage yet where I'm like, you definitely hear that, I'm assuming, but I'm not at the stage myself yet where I'm like, I know some people are already against Flick. I'm not there, but I do think he is way out of his element right now. When it went well, when everything was going well, he was able to maintain that ship, but I don't think he can correct a ship that isn't going well, and that's my issue. That, the inexperience really here is showing that some may say it's easy to get a team winning, or a winning team, a team that's maybe not doing well, and then you come in, you get a win, and then you kind of like ride that momentum. It's easy to do that. And it might be harder for him to correct the ship at the moment. A team that is just constantly, has been for months, just getting worse and worse. And then to get that team to play, because at this point it doesn't actually matter who we play. We could play anybody in defense, it doesn't matter. We could play anybody in midfield, it doesn't matter. We could play anybody in attack, it doesn't matter. Some of the players today were relatively good. A player that I feel sorry for is Mark Rocha. He came in, I thought he did a very solid 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes, give or take. And then obviously he missed the penalty. It's like, I don't think you're gonna get minutes now, bro. I think that was your last game for this year, if I'm being completely honest. It's not really deserved, because he played well in the Champions League. Played very, very well, and then got a red card. Played very well today and then missed the penalty. It's like, unlucky, mate. Unlucky. That's just one of those quirks of fate, unfortunately. But yeah, obviously the question remains: can Flick turn it around? At this point, I'm not confident. At this point, I think this season is going to be a write-off, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think, I can't see him turn it around. Hopefully, the only way I could see it going upwards for us is, next season. If we start next season with a win, I can kind of like see us ride that momentum from that win. But I don't think we're going to have that momentum this season. I think we're going to just get worse and worse this season. If you thought our last 2 performances would. I love performance. Like this performance today, it was bad considering the opponent, and you've got a performance against Gladbach. It was bad, but like Gladbach is a significantly stronger team. But the performance hasn't been. The performance in this game and the game against Gladbach wasn't as bad as we've seen in the past couple of months. That's the we've lost those two last games, and they weren't nearly as bad as the games before that, prior to that. And that's for me because if you've been here on the channel long enough, you'll know I don't care so much about. I said this already at the beginning of this video, but I don't care so much about the victory and the loss. That is secondary to me. What matters to me first and foremost is our performance. Because as I always say, I'll repeat myself 50 times. I don't care, but I'm going to repeat myself here. As I always say, for me, performance, if a team plays well, if Bayern plays well, we win. But if we win, we don't always play well. And I'd much rather, us play well and then win than us just win without playing well. Because at the end of the day, football, yes, it's a results-driven sport, but also it's entertainment for us. For us, the fans, it's entertainment. We tune in week out. We form that connection week in, week out because, first of all, we love football. We love the sport itself, and we love either how the team plays, the identity of the team, or the way the team acts. And yeah, that's kind of my issue right now. I don't think we're gonna. Honestly, for me, this season is already a write-off. This season is already a write-off, and whatever the club decides, whoever they decide to stick with Flick, I'll be behind it. If they decide to get rid of him, I'm okay with that either too. For me, it's just a case of whatever they decide to do, they have to stick to it. Whether they decide to stay or whether they decide to stick with him or whether they decide to get rid of him. I know it's harsh saying get rid of him considering what we've lost 3 games in the last year. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that we've lost 3 games and I'm talking like this about it already. But again, the performance has been good. We've won those games this year especially. Well, not this year, but this season especially. Not so much due to the team being good, but due to individual quality, and that's the difference. We've won the games this season due to individual quality. Even last season, we won a majority of our games due to individual quality. You look at. I don't want to talk too much about the last season, but you look at games. Obviously, the ones that really stick out are the PSG game. PSG could have easily won that. Probably should have won that, but Neuer had a individual masterclass. The whole team wasn't that great, but Neuer was superb on that day. Then you look at the Lyon game. It was Gnabry's day. The whole team didn't look that good, but Gnabry did. So we have the individual quality to beat teams, but we haven't looked solid as a team. The only game I can think of, and even then I'm not 100% behind it, was the Barcelona game. And obviously in terms of the big games, let's talk about the Atletico Madrid game too. Yeah, that was this season. But Atletico Madrid, they're never going to score goals. I'm sorry, but they're just a team that doesn't score goals. They're a team that doesn't concede goals, and we broke that. We've got a great attack. I'm not denying that, but it's defensively where we always struggle. And that's kind of why, against another team, let's say Liverpool. I dread playing Liverpool, if I'm being completely honest. If we play Liverpool, we'll probably score 3 goals. They'll probably score 6. That's kind of the vibe where we're at right now, where we just don't know how to defend. And it's not just due to the individual players, it's due to the whole team, and that's the issue. If it was just due to individual players, it'd be whatever. You just sub these players out, and then you move from there. But it's the whole team. It doesn't matter who we play, we've always been poor this season, and that's the issue. But that's just my take. I wanted to keep it short. I wanted to keep it a 1 minute or 2 minute video. Now we're here 9 minutes in. Congratulations once again to Kiel. Okay. We're supposed to be in lockdown. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Until then, have a nice day. Peace out and bye.